All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to M. How Nine's Fish Tanks. We are live in the fish barn. Let me know how the audio is. Unfortunately, I'm on my cell phone tonight with the gimbal, and I lost a little attachment piece. I went to go into my camera bag and couldn't find it. So we have this is what we got. So let me know in the chat if the audio's good. Oh, audio's good. Good. All right. So thank you, Candy. So the chat is going here. We've got 12 people watching. So good. So everyone says it's good. All right. So I'm going to actually put you guys on the computer as well, so I can see the chat a little bit better. So just give me 1 second, and then we'll go ahead here and get started with the tour. Jeffro, I said I had cookies. Well, I'm going to tell Jeffro if he's watching. Thank you for sending the folks over. So we should have a lot of fun. This will be a lot of fun to go take a walk through here. Spent a good portion of yesterday getting everything shined up here. So we'll go ahead here in just one moment, and I just want to pull it up on my computer screen too, so I can see and respond to your guys' chat. So it's just going to be just a moment. So right now, and now I'm going to turn the volume on the TV off. All right, cool. So let's go through and see who we've got in the chat real quick. We've got Sunshine Aquatics. We've got Ken, Taco Man, Corey Boy, Charles W, Candy. Thank you, Candy, for all you do for the community. Jeff Rose. So Jeff Rose, thank you very much for the for sending everyone over here. We've got Chris. I did say Sunshine already. We've got Denny. Rob Myers says Rob's got cookies. So let me turn the screen around. I've got quite a few people here, and let's go ahead and get started. All right. So if you can see here, you've got me on the TV. So I guess we'll start. We're going to start right over here. So we are going to start with the Mutt Guppy tank right here. So this is a 75-gallon. It's got some driftwood in here, dragonstone. Got some Apanageton Olvaceus. Byron Volman, hi. Welcome to the stream. And then fish-wise in here, we have 8 million guppies, as you can see. We've got some HY511 candy cane tetras, as you can see right here. And then we've got my first foray into plecos, if I can find one right there. If you look through all the guppies, there's a super red ancestris sitting right there. So this is honestly one of my favorite tanks in the fish barn. It's a lot of action to it, as you can see. Always something going on, a lot of color. Yes, Chris One says they're handsome guppies. They're awesome. Yeah, I got a lot of these at a local store, probably about an hour and a half away from me. I said Chris and Corey will be jealous. Yes, so Daryl says nice looking guppies. Jeffro, sounds good, Candy. All right, so let's go through the plants here real quick. So these are the Apanageton Olvaceus. I got all of these from the Aquarium Co-op, and these things have gone literally like, I guess I'll use the word buck wild in here. And they're really taken off. If you can see, if you guys go up here, they've gone all the way over here, even into this rotala that I've got to find something to do with. So let's see if they flowered. I've had one flower in another tank. So let me pull my hand up here and see what we've got. There is no flower on that. So it looks like it's going to start. So let me pull this out here and I'll show it to you guys. So there's a little bulb on the end of this. It looks like it's going to flower eventually. So let me put that back in the water, but I wanted to show that to you guys. And then if you go down here, and there's a little bit of algae in here, but we've got the dwarf chainsword. And then we've got the Tiger Lotus. Tiger Lotus is doing pretty well. It's shooting up the leaves. All right, so that's the 75-gallon guppy tank. There's really not a whole lot to say filtration-wise in here. All I've got running in here is a sponge filter here in the back. And this tank gets an auto water change. Yeah, this tank gets an auto water change 3 times a day. It runs for about a minute and a half. It's noon, 8 p.m. and midnight, I believe, are the 3 times it goes. So let's head over to the next tank that's right next to it. This is the Tanganyikan tank. This is also a 75-gallon. So this is the, we've got, in here we've got some Cyprichromis leptosoma ketumba. I got these from Cichlid Lovers a couple months ago. They haven't colored up yet, but they look pretty sharp when they do. So they are starting to show a little bit of color. And if you guys want to laugh and break the internet, check those out. So there's 3 guppies in here that I wasn't able to catch. When I had guppies in here originally because this was the only tank I had to put them in. So there's the 3 guppies in here. I got these at Aquashella. I'll show you the rest of them in a moment. But kind of funny that they all can get along in here. And then heading to the bottom are the black Calvus. So I've got 3 black Calvus in here as well. So I've had these guys about a little under a month. They just kind of hang out in the bottom here. This is what they do all day. They just chill out down here. Filtration wise, I actually do have this set up on a central system. So all the cichlid tanks you'll see downstairs here are on a central sump that I run with a one of the J-Bow pumps, and then basically from there it all goes to a some bio balls and some filter floss, and then each one of the tanks, some of them have hang-on backs and some of them will just have the sponge filter here. And also in here I do have the Jungle Val. I got this at a local swap, but this is done pretty well. The fish leave it alone. So so you want to go see the central sump, Ken? Okay, I'll take you around here for a minute. I'm still kind of cleaning things up in here, so bear in mind some of the cords and stuff. But so we've got the back wall. All right, so I'm going to flip you down on the gimbal. So this is the central sump. It's extremely simple. So all you have here is some filter floss. I got this from Lucas Bretz at the ALA. These are just little bins. And then this is a Home Depot bucket, or this one might be an Instant Ocean bucket, but the same thing. Just drilled some holes in it, put bio balls in it, and then if you go over here, this is the pump itself, and then we'll follow it back up for a second. I'll show you the mess that's back here. And then this basically goes to a manifold, and that manifold, if you look through all the cords, is the goes to all the tanks. So that's the basic setup on how all these cichlid tanks are set up. So I'll take you now to the yeah, thank you, Candy. It is quite a setup. It's actually a lot simpler than it looks. It's just messy at the moment. So let's go down here. Let me get the gimbal rearranged for you guys. So down here, I have a trio. Let me change. I have a trio of Red Empress. So I have a male and 2 females, and they are not going to come out. So let me go grab some food, and we'll give those guys some food. For a second, I'll have you guys watch the saltwater tank for a minute. Yeah, like I said, this is still a work in progress, guys. So there's going to be some things in here that you're going to see that aren't ideal. So we're going to feed the guppies first, just because we're here, and it's time for them to eat anyway. So those guys are eating, and then we'll get the Red Empress out. So the male just, that looks like, nope, that's the other female. So let me go ahead here, get some food in here. And we'll get these guys out for you. And what I'm feeding them is the North Fin pellets. So there's 2 of them. And the male is hiding in this rock. So there he goes. Yep, so there's the male. And he wasn't this way. I've only had these fish about a month. And he is not this way when I got him. So Carbon Wheelies here, hello. So he's a pretty stunning fish. So Mr. D's is here. Yeah, we just got started a few minutes ago. Oh, Terry's Tropicals tank, didn't mean it in a bad way. No, not at all, I get it. So, yeah, this has been kind of a work in progress, and it's still not done. All right, so we're gonna go next. Keeping with the cichlid theme here, these are some Otopharynx tetrastigma, and these fish do not come out. So I'm gonna put this food in here, and we're gonna back away because this fish, it's a stunning fish, but it does not come out. So let's go ahead and back away from it and see if he comes out. Because I really do want you guys to see him. These fish do not come out. So I'm gonna put these. There you go. And meanwhile, there's the female right there. So, oh, about that. Yeah, Ken, it's funny. You think it's ever going to be done. No, it won't be. There'll always be something. So we're going to sneak around and we'll come back to this tank. Now this tank also is one of my favorites. And I'm going to flip the camera down for a minute. And he's out here. This is the Astatilapia aniacolor. This is one of my favorite fish in the fish room. This is the dominant male. And he'll just sit here all day and kind of just do this. He'll sit here and just flash around the rocks. The females are all in the rocks. Yeah, Candy, he's a pretty cool fish. I saw, my first exposure to him was at the Aquatic Experience, and he's super cool. So honestly, he's top favorites in the fish room. So we'll give him, and he knows I got the food out too. So we'll give him some food, and the females will come out too. They're just the typical silver cichlid. Jeff Chambers makes me really want a finished basement. Looks great. Fish rooms are like a badass science lab. Bubbles and quartz everywhere. Yeah. And PVC. All right. So now let's head over. And that fish is not out yet. So we'll come back to the tetrastigma in a little bit. All right. So the next tank over here is we're going to stay back from this one too. This is the discus tank. So this is a 90-gallon down here. And so these guys, I got them as babies. They've been acting a little different lately. I've not seen any signs of disease, but they, yes, but they've been kind of, I've taken a lot of their wood out of here. As you can see, this tank's got quite a bit of algae in it. And this is cleaned up. But yeah, so this, these guys, are not looking their best today, but they I got them and they were literally like maybe silver dollar size, and now they're and now they've gotten huge. So, and then over here, everyone's been talking about the Zis filter. So that's the Zis filter in action right there. So it's going it's doing its thing. All right, let's see. Since I'm here by the TV. So Dirty Tanks, hey guys, sorry I'm late. Yeah, so Dirty tanking again, and he's so bright, he's fluorescent, yes. Oh, Candy, they're talking about the blue discus. Yeah, so I really do like this filter. There's a lot of different options for this. All right, so I'm gonna flip you around now to the live bears for a few minutes here. So we're gonna go through, I've got some guppy breeding tanks over here. So this first one is the super red Dumbo guppies that I've got from Kang Lee at Aquashella. And you can see the reflection of the TV. So, but yeah, so these guys are my favorites. I initially lost all the females after they gave birth, but they had a whole bunch of fry right before they passed, so they're doing quite well. Let me go grab the fish food for a minute, and I'll see if I can get the male out. See, these tanks, they're 20-gallon. These are 20-gallon 20-gallon highs, which are one of my favorite tanks. So yeah, these are for sure one of my favorites. But yeah, so 20-gallon highs. I do clownfish in these too. So we've got these guys, and then over here we've got bumblebee platies and rainbow mosaic dragon guppies from Guppy Train. I didn't import them from Guppy Train. I just got them from an auction, and then I got these bumblebee platies from various sources. So, and in these tanks, I just have the guppy grass. I literally got this from Sergeant Tank as like a little sliver, and it's literally like all over my fish room now. I got it it was February of 17. I got the guppy grass, and it grows everywhere in my fish room. So the next tank over is the albino koi guppies. I got these at the Derek says I want those guppies. Laugh out. Oh yes, Derek, I told you I would give you some of the offspring on that. So these are the albino koi guppies right here. That's the male. The female is probably in here somewhere. These tanks are really, I have to work on some lighting for these tanks. And then these guys have a lot of fry too. And I don't know if this camera will pick it up since we're on my phone tonight, but if there's a fry right up here by, yep, there you go. Can you guys catch the fry there? So there's a little fry there. And then right next to that are the metallic blacktails, which you guys are not going to get a good look at, and I apologize for that. With the lighting, the black fish and the black tank, these fish are a lot better. Yeah, see, unfortunately you can see it, but you can't see the really cool markings on it. All right, so now we are going to go to some of the Godiads that are in here. So we have right now, and I have some more of these on order. What I think happened in here is it got a little cold on this side of the fish room. But these are some black bellied limia. I really love these fish. These guys are actually going to move upstairs when I get to the construction zone part of this. So that's the black bellied limia. I think this is the only one in here. But I have some coming in next week that and then I'm going to move these guys to the upstairs where I can regulate the temperature very well. All right, now the next tank is super funny. There are fish in here and you won't find them. So this is the guppy grass grow out tank / there are, and I always forget the name of these. Shoot. These are, no, they're not limia. Oh, shoot. I can't remember. And I'm going to remember it later. That's the only one I don't have a label on. Of course, I don't remember it. And then going down here, I have 3 trout Godiads down here. So I've never gotten any offspring off of these guys, but these guys do pretty well in here. I mean, there's nothing been wrong with them or anything, but they eat all the algae in here. This tank has been algae free pretty much. This is a huge piece of water sprite right here. And then going this way, right over here, these fish are going to move as well. But this is a 40-gallon breeder with some Mickey Mouse platies and kind of a mutt endler tank. So there's the Mickey Mouse platies, monster snail, and then we've got a bunch of mutt endlers in here as well. So, and then down here is kind of the mutt swordtail tank. This is a 50-gallon. Not much going on with this right now other than a ton of guppy grass. So let's look at the bottom real quick here. Now this bottom tank is a 120-gallon plywood tank. This has, this is a saltwater tank. It has Coral Beauty angelfish right there. These are sea bay clownfish. I've had these now for 3 or 4 years. These are some of my favorite fish, favorite clownfish of all time. I love the black and the yellow. And then there is also a there's a hippo tang in here as well. He kind of hides out in the rocks a lot. So, all right. So let's head over to, let me give you guys a quick kind of overview of the fish barn now. So that's the TV. So I've got you guys on live so I can kind of see the chat better than on my phone. And then those are the guppy tanks. And then on the bottom there is the saltwater. Heading over here are those two tanks I just showed you with the live bearers. The trout goodeids are on the bottom. Then there's two 29 gallons on the top with the other goodeids. And there's the fish that don't come out, the Otopharynx tetrastigma. Dirty tanking, is it tempered glass or plate glass? That's plate glass. I got that from a local, oh, Jeremy's here. Yes. Yes, so Jeremy, welcome. Thank you for coming. So the tetrastigma are not going to come out, unfortunately, but we did get to see the yellow belly Albert. So we'll take one more glimpse here through the fish, this part of the fish barn. So those are the guppies. Down there is the saltwater, and then live bearers. We've got the three goodea tanks that I was talking about. And then we kind of start getting into the cichlids with the Otopharynx tetrastigma. Down here we've got the yellow-bellied Albert, or the Astotilapia aniocolor. Heading back up here, just kind of flipping through, as we have the guppy / Tanganyikan tank. So going down to the bottom, so we have the discus. And then heading back over this way, where we started with the muck guppy tank, down to the, and I've lost my train of the red empress down here. Sorry. So now he's out. Now he's out from his cave. So, and now the other part of the fish room for the downstairs is we have the. This is the big 245-gallon saltwater tank. I am still fighting for some cyano in this tank. But what we have in here is we have a long-nosed butterfly. So butterfly fish are some of my favorites, though I have a lot of trouble keeping them. So we're gonna feed these guys and get them to come out too. So I have some mysis shrimp we're gonna put in here. I'm just gonna let that go. And then also I have a pair of Venustus angelfish in here. So the Venustus angel is going to come around the corner right there. There's one of them. Right out here is the saddleback butterfly. As you can see, the long nose, they are eating the mysis. And then the clownfish that are in here are called New Caledonian blue stripes. They are not one commonly found in the hobby, and I need to get the reference guide out to see if those are actually New Caledonians or not. All right, heading over here. Jeremy came just in time, actually. I think this might be his favorite tank. So I'm going to feed the other saltwater tank real quick. And then, all right, so this is my, we'll call it South American biotype tank. So what we have in here is we have some Geophagus haeckelii. We have the one marbled angelfish. Also in here, we have some more of those Candy King tetras that you saw in the first tank. And I apologize for this glass. This is another plywood tank. So, and I used some old glass for this, and this glass is like all scratched. So, and then we also have some red shoulder severums. And they're hanging out in the back right now. So there's one of them's right there. And then the other one is over here. And those are from Rio Nene in Peru. And I'm going to go get some food for these guys too. And you'll get those guys out. For those of you who are, who either know about or actually were in attendance for the video, for the Fish Fam video I did, So we went over to Chicago with AJ. Oh, says Chris, I'm in love with those Geophagus. Yes, I found those at a. I found those at a local fish store, but I actually saw them before that at another fish store and had to do some research on them to figure out what they were, because I did the same thing. I fell in love with them as well. So we're gonna see if we can get the other Severums out. See, there we go, right there. So there's the other Severums, and these are wild caught. So I got these from Pleco Paradise in Chicago. So I got those, and then I have these other Severums down here that I got at the Aquatic Experience. So I put some Vibrobites in here, but those are, I generally don't feed the Vibrobites a lot, but yeah, so that's the South American tank. I have this huge piece of driftwood I found at a local fish store, and this tank kind of runs at a central system too. And then going back here to the, we'll call this the Cathedral of PVC and Wires. There's another guppy tank back there that I'm going to have a hard time filming just because it's kind of a hard spot to get to. But these are super red gumbo guppies, and you're not going to be able to hear me because of the water. So this is where all the water change happens. So both of these containers are, so Bob Guppy's here. She says, hi, I'm How9's Fish Tanks. So this tub right here is the freshwater auto water change. So I have this actually plumbed into the house. So what will happen is the water will come through. Here, I'll take you over there for a second. So it'll come through this this pipe right here. And I know we're gonna get really ugly here for a second. So it's coming through here. This PEX pipe is buried underground, comes through, and I have this, oops, sorry guys. I have this reactor here. I'm not this RODI unit, which I actually took the RO off, and I'm just using this as a push filter. So it pushes it through here. There's a carbon block. It looks like I need to change. There's actually, it's 2 sediment filters, a carbon block, and that's what I use to top off the freshwater tanks. And then the saltwater actually gets the deionizing unit here. This is the bulk reef supply refillable, which looks like I need to change as well. So that's the water, and then the other tub over there, sorry, the other 55-gallon barrel is the saltwater top off. And then when I do like a water change on the saltwater, I'll actually just put a bag of salt in that, and that will do the top off. So those are most of the tanks. There is one last tank I'm going to show you. So this is the goldfish pond. So these 2 goldfish are probably about a foot long or so. I'm going to try to get as close as I can. But my daughters won these at a local church event, and they were tiny. They were literally about that big or so, and now they are now they're literally about a foot long. So we've got 25 people here. So yes, thank you guys all for turning out. I do appreciate it. All right, so anything system-wise else I want to show you. So let me turn you guys back around. So there's the couch. So a lot of times if I'm watching somebody's live stream, so I watch it from, this is the TV. So, and then I just kind of sit on the couch here, watch TV. So got it all going on here. All right, so let's go ahead and head up. Oh, one thing I want to talk about too, since we're here, is the air system. So this is the AL, the Elita 60, the AL 60, and I have this hooked up, and I know this isn't clean, but I have it hooked up to this 1-inch PVC pipe, runs all the way around the fish room, and I've got basically valves on it, like this one right here. You can shut them on and off. And then most importantly, since I am here in Michigan, is the heat. So this is the FU54, or it's FUH, I think, 54. It's a 5,000 watt heater. This heats the entire building. I got my first power bill like with the heater really like working in force last month, and it was almost like the same bill I had for air conditioning in the winter. So I think I'll be all right cost wise. You know, I was kind of afraid I get the $1,000 heating bill, but with the moving hot water and everything in here, it's not on that often, to be quite honest with you. It is on enough, but it's not on that often. So we're gonna head upstairs now, and we'll see the upstairs part. So now heading up the stairs, you guys are going to ask, why is the garden hose sitting inside here? Well, that is part of the fails as we're heading up. That's part of the kind of the backup plan if I were ever to like lose water out here. In the winter, I have a frost-free faucet outside. So if I really need water and whatever reason I lose the water, I'm able to go to the house and get that done. All right, so let's head upstairs. All right, this first tank right now is empty, but this is the row of 75 gallons. So this is set up on a central system as well. So that's the first 75 gallon. Heading over here is the next 75 gallon. So this basically has purple ACI, yellow labs, and then a variety of peacocks floating around in here. And I actually kind of colony breed these guys. If you see these little fake plants down here, I literally have, I don't know how many purple ACI fry now I have. So next time I go to an auction, I'm actually going to take some and see if I can get rid of some of them. But I literally have it, like, they spit in here and they live with the adults, and it actually kind of worked out fine. There's a yellow lab fry. I don't have as many yellow labs in here, but that's the, yeah, that's kind of the colony breeding of cichlids. It's kind of interesting. So heading over here to the next tank, these are the Pundamelia nairi. I've got about 10 of them in here, and it's coming off kind of yellow on the camera, but that male right there is starting to color up. And then this, and then this tank right here, this is basically a bow front. I need to get a light for it and get it set up, but it's gonna all kind of run on this system too. I don't know what I'm gonna put in there yet. And then the filtration for this, we'll go down to the ground for a minute. So this is just a 10-gallon tank with another J-bow pump, and it just filters through the same way. This is a better actually illustration of it. Oh, David's late. So yeah, David, I understand. If you have babies, you got to take care of them first, for sure. All right, so that's the freshwater tanks upstairs. So now we'll go to the clownfish. So we'll start from left to right here. All right, so the first, these are the snowflake ocellaris that have been spawning quite a bit for me. I've not gotten the eggs to go, but there's another set of eggs. They just, looks like they just laid them. So if you look at the top, you can faintly see the, you guys probably can't see it very well on camera. Let me see if I can get it better. There you go. See if that, you can kind of tell there's a pretty big mass of eggs there. So, but those will hatch probably in about 10 days or so. All right, so the next fish we've got here is the Tricinctus clownfish. The species name is Amphiprion Tricinctus. I've tried to find this fish for years, and I've only been able to find one. The next tank is actually empty. So this next tank over here is the Spotcinctus. So these are Amphiprion Bicinctus. These guys have not spawned for me yet, but I am hoping to get, these guys are kind of the size where they would. I've been kind of checking their pot. I did see a little bit of cleaning action going on with them, but I've not seen anything yet. This is the lightning maroon clownfish. So this is, I only have one of these guys as well. If I were to try to pair this guy up, or gal actually, I would definitely need a bigger tank because he's gonna get, maroons get kind of nasty. So, oh, this guy's actually out. The next fish here is the fire clown, who is like never out, and now he's back over there. One of my favorites as well. Unfortunately, I can find a mate for him. I just haven't gotten around to it, to be quite honest with you. Next fish over here is the Picasso Percula. So I only have one of those as well, and I need to find another one. I unfortunately lost the mate. And then right here, the other spawning fish I have, Derek Running. And that's the fish that'll get me back into the saltwater, the maroon clownfish. Yes, for sure. Towards the end, I'll actually tell you the story a little bit of the maroon clownfish. It's actually a pretty cool story. So if you look here, these eggs are a little further along. So those are the tomato clowns. They're towards the back there. And those are the tomato eggs. I have these 3 tanks to set up yet. So I don't know yet what I'm gonna do with those. And then, so all the cichlids are out now. So they think I'm gonna feed them. So let me go grab them some food. Yeah, so you've got the OB, peacocks are out now. So the OB, you've got the strawberry. The other OB just came out from behind the rock, so they know that the food's coming. This is about when they eat as well. So let me feed these guys here in just a second. And then I'll show you right here is the rotifer culture right here that I'm using to raise the clownfish. I don't have any of the fry right now, but I am gonna try to raise these 2 batches up here. I've been working a little bit on the setup. You'll probably see that in an upcoming video. So let me get the fish here before they get too angry. Oops, sorry. I want to show you guys you don't want to see that. There we go. So there's the cichlid death tornado, if you want to call it that. All right, we'll feed the Pundamelia nairi as well since we're here. So there's the Pundamelia nairi. And we'll go feed the saltwater fish too since we're here. So, clownfish, just watch, take it out of my hand almost. So there's these guys, I probably fed them a little too much, but it's okay. The maroon. We got these tomatoes will for sure. Watch the tomato. Come right up to my hand. All right, so now that's all of the running fish tanks at the moment. So I'm gonna take you guys back to the kind of what I've been working on. So coming back here, so I've been kind of working on a different setup for the clownfish. I'm actually thinking about running like a flow-through setup with like a filter sponge. So this is kind of what I've started over here. I'm heading back into here. I do have some more tanks to set up. So I found this at the local auction. And I thought this was a 55, but I don't think it is. I think it's actually taller than a 55. So it's got super thick glass on it. So if you guys are in the comments, let me know what you think. What do you think that tank is? Because it's literally like got the glass of like a 90. And then there's a 29 I found here. Oh, Mod Candy. Yes, for sure. If Candy wants to be a mod, she can be the first mod. I actually have not set up any mods on this channel unless I'm getting attacked and I don't know it. Candy's like he doesn't need a mod. Not yet. Maybe someday. Maybe someday I'll need a mod, but not yet. Oh. So she wants to be a mod. Where do I stock the saltwater? So Chris, I'll take and I'll show you where the saltwater tank is. So these tanks I'm still working on setting up. These were like where the Godiads are going to go is back in here. And then heading back in here, this is the work in progress part. So if you watched my last video, I was working on building a computer for live streaming. So this is going to be kind of the live streaming space. Right now it's kind of a mess, but I found this TV at the Salvation Army for like 40 bucks. So that's the big monitor, little monitor, got the keyboard, and I did build the computer. I've never done that before, and then a bunch of just junk that I've got to clean up back here. But that's the live stream setup for when we sit down and literally talk about stuff. So Dirty Talking says I will need a mod for yeah, that'd be nice. So let's head down stairs and answer Chris's question. So where's the salt water? So the salt water, all right, heading back downstairs. So this right here, since we're here, this is the pipe for the auto water change for this part of the system. So this pipe comes from downstairs. It's hooked up to a Mag 18. Just pumps in this tank. And then, oh, he asked me how I make it too. Okay, we can do that. It's actually, it's extremely simple. I literally, all right, so we're back downstairs. So yeah, so David Gilkison says, cool fish barn. Yeah, just stay warm in the winter. Yes, well, I'll go back over the heater in just a second, David. So the salt water, if we head back to the abyss back here. So, all right, so this is the freshwater tank. And then I use this back drum right here for auto top off for the salt water. But when I want to do a water change, this is 55 gallons. And a bag of Instant Ocean salt does 50 gallons. So I usually just do about like one bag in there, stir it up a little bit, kind of let it get warm, and then just top it off and let it, and then I'll change the water out of this, and I'll let the water top off out of here. I generally don't do a lot of water changes on my salt water, just because I don't know, I just don't like to mess with that system very much, to be quite honest with you. All right, so David asked about the heat. So if we look right here, some of you guys may have already seen this, but this is the FU54. This is a 5,000 watt heater. So this will go ahead and I've set it to about 75 degrees or so, but keeps the barn pretty warm actually. The barn's insulated throughout, upstairs, downstairs, and everywhere. And then one thing, Chris, the reason I go a little bit light on the salt. So what's my backup heating plan if that goes out? Good question. So let's head back upstairs and I'll show you. And we're gonna have to go through the mess to get to it, and I've got to finish setting it up. But I will show you what I've got. So sitting right here under a bunch of stuff is a propane, I think it's 30,000 watt, 30,000 BTU heater. So it's a propane heater. And then I'll take you guys outside for just a second. And I actually found a pretty sweet deal at Lowe's. I was walking around my local. David Gilgo said, you're prepared. Yeah, you've got to be, if you're going to do a building like this, you really need to think through everything that's going to happen. Dirty talking fire. These are generally pretty safe. I don't have it running right now. It's not even, I've got to still actually run the gas hookups for it and everything. I've not done it yet. But like I said, that is the backup heater if the power goes out or it gets like minus 3,000 in here. So that's really the backup. I'm gonna take you guys outside for a minute. It's gonna be dark. But so what I have out here, if you look out here, oops, let me see. You're not gonna be able to see it. There you go. So those are the I have two 40-pound propane tanks. So basically, yes, I've got the 32-pound propane tanks. So if something, I've not run them out yet to test how long it runs, but that's the backup plan for heat, which I hope I never have to use, but I probably will. One thing out here too, just so you guys know, I do have internet out here. So this is one of the internet cables. Small fire, LOL, yeah. No, we'll be real careful about it. And also, I do have a vent fan in here. So look right here, that's the vent fan. So I do want to move some air through here for sure. So that's all of the tanks. So I think I've hit every tank in here. Oh, so we got the upstairs, downstairs. So small fire. Let me, since I'm back here now, I'm gonna try to put you guys on a tripod, because I've been my arm's getting sore from carrying the gimbal around for 40 minutes. And I'll flip the camera around. Derek Runyon, I want to come over. Yes, we do need to plan something. You're literally up the road from me. So yes, for sure. I've started to get this like put back together. So for sure, we'll schedule some time. All right. This is not screwing into the gimbal very well. Oh, it helps if you actually like put it on. So, remind me where I am, David. I am in Michigan, in like northern suburbs of Metro Detroit. So basically, it's you thought come and help Michigan. Yep, I am in Michigan. I am. All right, so we have it on the gimbal. Almost. We almost lost the phone. Yep, I think David. Actually, I think I met you at Sergeant Tank's little get together in Chicago. So let me flip the camera back around, back on me, and put the tripod back a little bit. So there we go. All right. Yep, we met a few weeks ago. Yep, for sure. I remember meeting you over, I don't remember the name of the fish store, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. I wish I could have spent the night, because I got home at like 4 o'clock in the morning and it was brutal. JC's Fish and Shrimp, cool rooms. Yes, thank you very much. So I'm like watching myself on the TV is kind of strange. Do you guys have any other questions on the Fish Barns itself? Oh, Aquarium Adventures, great store. That now has mud skippers. Yes, I've never really gotten into like mud skippers and axolotls and things like that. But yeah. So, oh, and Candy says that you passed on. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, like I've never gotten into anything like that. I don't know why. That's not been my thing. Where's a mod when you need one? Ban. Okay. First of all, Candy would be the last person on any live stream that I would ban. So, you know, unless like Candy came from Montana and like burned my house down, I think Candy's good. Dirty Talkies laughs. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not really like I said, I'm not into the mud skippers that much. So for some of you who maybe don't know me a little bit, I'll talk a little bit about myself. Oh, can't wait to see clownfish fry. Yes. We'll do some more videos on those. Oh, Priscilla's here. Hi, Priscilla. Yes. Any plant suggestions for cichlids? I'm not. It's actually kind of funny. I just kind of started getting into cichlids. My real history is in saltwater. So I started. So Derek's got what kind of lighting you have? I'll answer that in just a second. But I've really started out in the saltwater. So I've done a lot of I have had some reef tanks in the past. I've not really done them that much recently. The 120 plywood tank, I'm thinking about doing a little bit of a reef tank. But for Dirty Tanking's question, I've had good luck with Vallisneria. So if you look in the, and I'll turn the gimbal around for a second to show you. But if you look in the, I'll flip the camera back around. So if you look in that tank over there, that is the Red Empress tank. And that is the, and this got Jungle Val. So that's been a pretty good plant for me, is the Jungle Val. So I'm going to put this back up and get myself back on the screen here. So there, I'm back. So yeah, I would say Jungle Val. And then the lights, I run quite a few different lights. I've been running a lot of the Aquanites. I really like those. So I really do I really do enjoy those lights. I do have one Fluval 2.0, and I'm actually not a fan of the 3.0, and you guys are going to be like, why? It's got the web stuff. I run this, one of the things I haven't really shown you is I run this room on a Neptune Apex, and that actually controls all the lighting in here. So in about 10 minutes or so, it's going to get awful dark in here, and I'm not going to touch anything. So it's got the timer, and actually I can actually turn it on and off from my phone, but since I have the phone on the live stream, I can't do that. So let's see. But yeah, so I really like the 2.0. I'm going to be kind of I don't know. I'm going to be kind of old school and say I like the 2.0 better. So, yeah, so I'll talk a little. Do you have geo spawning? Are those mouth breeders? You know what? I really don't know. Let me look it up. I don't have them breeding. I'm going to have to look that one up. I don't know. Give me 1 second. Computer's not cooperating. Oh, there we go. So, all right. So, to me, it looks. Yeah, so it looks like they're kind of like cave spawners. Yeah, so it says basically they form pairs and spawn within rocks and caves. So that's the real quick answer. I apologize, I don't have the answer for that up. So Priscilla is watching Blue Planet 2 and this live stream. Well, I hope Blue Planet is a lot better than this live stream. I think this is some cool stuff, but I'm gonna give the thumbs up to the Blue Planet, I think. So let me see. We've still got 21 people here, so I do appreciate you guys all for coming. Let me think of what kind of aqua do you use? Because I just bought them and they're not bright enough and had to return. I just buy the eBay ones. So, Candy's like, I like this live stream. I have cool tanks of fish. Yes, thank you, Candy. Yeah, so David likes watching the Blue Planet in 4K. Yeah, I don't have the 4K setup, but this actually is coming through pretty well on my cell phone, which is I'm pretty surprised. So I'm watching it on my on the TV. For those of you that just joined, I actually put a TV in here so I can like watch people's live streams while I do fish stuff in here. So I'm gonna turn the camera around for just a moment. Oh, hold on. And we'll turn the gimbal back so you can see. But that's the TV. So I can sit on the couch where I'm right now and just watch the TV. So I'll turn you guys back around again. So his mine, Iperna Genesis spawning caves almost 300 per batch. If you guys watched Brian's Fish Tanks video today, I don't know if you guys saw that with the Midas cichlids. That was literally like oh yeah, 4K TVs aren't expensive. Yeah, for sure. Honestly, for like the fish room out here, I actually go to the Salvation Army and buy my TVs. So the TV you're just looking at here, I bought, and then the one, if you guys saw what was upstairs. So do you guys want me to take another, let me see, oh, we got about 5 minutes before we lose the light. So Oh, I need surround speakers. I actually do have surround speakers. I don't have a good way to hook it up. What I actually might do is put the surround speakers upstairs and run the wires upstairs to the up in here and have the sound come from the upstairs. Let me see. I'm going to do something real quick. Maybe I can keep the lights on for another 10-15 minutes or so. But I'm going to go on the Apex real quick. And maybe we'll do another walkthrough for those of you guys who weren't here earlier. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Actually, I'll show you guys how this works. So let me flip the camera around and I'll flip you guys on the computer for just a minute. So, or actually, I'll put you on the TV. You guys can watch it on the TV while I'm doing it. So there you go. So Priscilla's, how many tanks do you have? There's about 32 tanks, I think, in here. 30 something. So I know some of you guys just came, so I'm gonna take you guys on a quick walkthrough. We'll do it. So I'm gonna turn the. I'm just gonna log in. So that's the Apex. If I go into here, so it's all programmed. So if I go to the lights, stairs on the top off, these are all labeled. So got the heater. So we've got room light 1. So we will turn that, slide that button to on. And I think that actually is the one that controls all of the lights, if I remember correctly. The thing is, I set this up, and then, like, you forget about it. So if you look here, I have, like, the discus heater. So I have that set. So basically, if I don't have heaters kill anything. And so it shuts it off. Open door. I want to see the program on this one. Plywood light, we're gonna put that one on too. I want to make sure. And this way you can see your programming. So, yep, that's a light too. And then you just go back to your dashboard. That's not it. All right. I want to see this just because what this is. That is nothing. Okay. So we'll go back here again. All right, so I've got the lights so that they won't turn off on you. So we'll go back to the live stream and I'll give you guys another quick tour. So let me flip you guys back to me for just a second, and I'm gonna unhook the gimbal from the tripod, and I started my first Daphnia tank. Do you grow any live foods? Yes, I do grow. That's epic. Is it bought as a kit? No, it's if you look up Neptune Apex, I have just the junior. It's about 250 bucks. It comes with like 4 outlets, but it lets you control all the outlets. But if you look up the Neptune, I mean, it's quite a bit of money. You can get through quite a bit of money doing that. So yes, David, do you grow live foods? Yes, I do grow rotifers for the clownfish. So we'll start upstairs with the tour 2.0 for the people who just joined, and then I will show you the. So we'll start upstairs this time, and then we'll do the rotifers. So heading back upstairs. All right, so we'll start at the top of the stairs. Oh, you're looking at me. Let me flip the camera. All right, so top of the stairs, we have the, this is the empty tank in here. I do have a saltwater tank. I actually have, I have 2 plus a clownfish breeding setup. All right, so, all right. And then heading over here are the, this is my mixed Mbuna peacock tank right here. This is a 75 gallon. It's hooked up on a a separate system. And if you see down here, there's a bunch of purple ACI fry. So there's literally about 30 of them. And then these guys have all spawned in here. So there's purple ACI, yellow labs, and then a kind of a mixture of peacocks in here. And then coming over here is these are the Pundamilia nairi, which are a Lake Victorian cichlid. And then we're going to turn around this way. What's with the random air stone? That's because it fell in the tank and I'm too lazy to get it out. That's the answer with the random air stone, is they fall in and then I don't feel like fishing them out. All right, so now we are to the clownfish breeding setup. So this first pair here is a Snowflake ocellaris, and these guys have actually spawned in here. So if you look at the very top, there's quite a few eggs in here. I don't know if you can see them. I'm gonna try to get the camera. And these are just new, so they're like really, really bright orange. But I do have some other eggs that are darker that I can show you. The next clownfish here is a Tricinctus clown. These, for me, have been hard to come by. It took me a long time to find this guy. Some of them don't ship very well, but yeah, so this is a very hard fish to come by. And then David, as you were asking, is the rotifers. Sorry, I can't talk. The rotifers are down here. So I need to find a clear container, but I'll show them to you in just a second. We'll go through the clownfish real quick, and then I'll show you the rotifers. All right, so these are the Tricinctus clownfish right here. It's a male and female. The male is in front of you right now. The larger one is the female in the back. Next fish over is the lightning maroon clownfish. It's one of my favorites. There's actually, if you guys ever have a chance to read the lightning maroon story, do it for sure. There is a fire clown in here. He was in the, if you watch the replay, he actually was out, but he's hiding behind the sponge filter now. All right, the next fish over is the Picasso percula. Just have one. I need to get a mate for it. These are the tomato clownfish. So these guys are right here. These guys have spawned. If you look inside there, you can see the eggs. Those are the eggs, the dark spots in there. So I bet tomorrow morning those will be clear, starting to get clear, and those will be starting to get ready to hatch. And then David wanted to see the rotifers. So we're going to take a quick tour back here. This is the kind of work in progress area. So I'm going to, this is the live stream area. It's a mess right now, but I built the computer and stuff back here. And let me find my clear container. And then I just have some tanks and stuff back here that are that I'm kind of working on setting up. So this is the under construction area. So if we head back here, so all right. All right, you're gonna have trouble seeing them, but that is, no, actually, Priscilla, this is in a, I have actually an outbuilding in, so this is actually basically like a 1.5 car garage that has a second story on it. Why are the seals bowing? The ceiling's bowing. No, the ceilings aren't bowing. It's actually got a arched ceiling and no, you're not going to see anything. They're microscopic. They are in there, but they are microscopic. But yeah, it's got the arched ceilings, and I'm shitty at doing drywall. So pardon my pardon my French, but this upstairs part was a real pain in the neck because I had to drywall this by myself, and literally trying to hold the drywall up and put the screws in at the same time didn't work out so well. So now we are heading back to the downstairs part of the fish room. So we'll start over here. So this is a 245-gallon fish only with live rock saltwater tank. In here right now, and I'm going to add more fish to this, is a pair of black and white clownfish. Yes, I do enjoy having the separate building. There's a Venusis angel in here who is right. Sorry about that. All right. The Venusis angel is right there. You just saw him go through the rocks. This is getting late for them. All right, there's a long-nosed butterfly fish. New York Gold is here. Hi, how's it going? It's nice till you have to cross the yard in a negative 15 Fahrenheit blizzard. Yeah, I knew that was coming. All right, so there's the long-nosed butterfly fish. There's the Venusis again. The saddleback butterfly is right there. And I think you guys saw the clownfish already. So, all right, heading over to this tank is the South American biotope tank, we'll call it. There is a marbled angelfish. I have about 5 Geophagus heckelii in here. We'll go through here. This is a plywood 150 gallon. And then I have some HY 511 tetras. Those are kind of the dithers. If you look underneath that piece of wood right there is a red shoulder sabrum. I have 2 of those from the Rio Nene in Peru. Got those from Pleco Paradise. So that's it's in Chicago. It's a pretty cool place. I would recommend checking them out. All right, heading over here is the this is the mud guppy tank. So this is kind of like my only real aquascape-esque tank. So this is the it's got a Mapanageton alvaceus, some dragonstone, dwarf chainsword, some driftwood. Sorry, dwarf. It's not dwarf aquarium lily. That is tiger lotus. There's some more HY 511s in here. I like these ones better. I got these ones at the ALA. The other ones I found at a local fish store. These, and then there's the so weird not to link things he says. No, I know. Yeah, I really can't link from my phone as I'm like holding the gimbal. So, yeah, Candies love that guppy tank. Yes. Yes, this tank is yeah, so New York Gold for sure. This is one of my favorite tanks. Like, I honestly should just set a camera in front of it and then just let it go like all day. All right, down here is my Red Empress tank. And of course the male, who is right there, is hiding now since I didn't put food out for him. So so yeah, so there's the Red Empress tank. That's a 90 gallon. Heading over to this this tank is the is my Tanganyikan tank. This is a 75 gallon. Let's see here. So these are 2 black calvus, and then above are the Cyprochromis leptosoma Katoomba jumbo. I've got 6 of those in there, and then also I have some guppies in here. There was a few guppies that were living in here that I had temporarily housed in here before I got the Tanganyikan fish, and they have done pretty well. There's 3 of them in here, and they're doing quite splendidly. And the Tetrastigma is still not out, so that was the next tank we're going to take a look at. So, but we'll go over here to the Haplochromis annicolor again. Oops, sorry about that, guys. I just bumped the gimbal. So he is hiding behind the algae, but he'll come out here in just a second and start flashing, I hope. He's like, you're not going to feed me. I'm not going to come out and do my thing. So that's the Haplochromis annicolor. He's actually a Cares fish. He's from Lake Edward, kind of near Lake Victoria. And then, let's see, where is my male? Not here. All right, he's in there somewhere. All right, so heading down to the bottom is the discus tank. So this is the 90-gallon discus tank. And if you scan over, it's the ever popular, I can't get rid of my green, no, I can't either. Like, that stuff is like the world will end and the green hair algae will still be alive. So there's the discus. There. All right, so now we are at the black-bellied limia, and we'll call this the guppy grass grow-out tank. Yeah, I need to get some Autosynclus or a Siamese algae. Yeah. All right, so now we are at this tank is the Mutt, Platy, and Endler tank. You guys need to check these guys out. Going down here is the trout goodeids. So there's 3 of those guys in here. And then we'll head to the guppy breeding tank. So these are super red Dumbo dragon guppies. I got these from Kang Lee at Aquashella from Twin Cities Guppies. So those are cool. Then we're heading over to the bumblebee platies. Looks like I'm gonna get some more fry out of those guys pretty soon. And then also in here are some rainbow mosaic dragon guppies that were from Guppy Train. I got these at a local auction. And then heading to the next tank, and of course he's not out now, is the koi. I have some koi albino, the albino koi guppies. Sorry, it's 10 o'clock. It's after 10 o'clock here. I'm getting a little tired. And then there are some metallic blacktails that I got at the Aquatic Experience that aren't out at the front anymore. And then heading to the bottom of this rack are this is the other saltwater tank. This is a 120-gallon plywood tank. It's got 2 sea-bait clownfish, a coral beauty angelfish, and there's a regal tang in here, but he's probably in the rocks by now. And then kind of the last tank I'll show you guys for Tour 2.0 is the goldfish pond. So there's the 2 goldfish. My daughters won these at an event probably about 3 years ago, and they were probably about 1 inch long, and they're now probably pushing over a foot. So yeah, so that's yeah, so Terry's Tropical Tanks, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate it very much. So yeah, so that's the Tour 2.0 of the fish barn. So I'm gonna put you guys back on the tripod for a minute. Kang has the best, yes, for sure. Kang does pretty well with the guppies. Yep, so there's more to come for sure. I put out videos. Those goldies look big enough to, yes, you could probably eat those goldfish for sure. You could probably make a meal out of them. I've caught smaller perch for sure. Corion, King of Plecos and Corys. All Oddball Aquatics. Yeah, so I do need to, I'm going to probably get some plecos, some more plecos. I kind of had, I don't know, I'll call it like an issue with plecos before, where like I bought the common pleco, didn't know better. But yeah, so this is, yeah, so this is kind of, actually this room was kind of one of the reasons I bought the house. So like this, I saw this barn, and so yeah, this was really, like, I'm like, this has to have fish in it. So this is, and honestly, I don't think I'll ever move. You'd have to like pry me out of here, like with like a forklift or something. So let me see if that fish is ever gonna come out. Like, I want to show you guys the Autopharynx testostigma if I can find them. All right. So, do you guys have any additional questions? We've been going for about 75 minutes. Let me see if I didn't know I had it on. Oh, New York Wax. How big is that room? This is actually a 1.5 car garage that has a second story. So it's actually outside on my property. There was a yeah. So this actually used to be the old garage to the house, and then they built like basically they built like a 3-car garage to the front, and then they flipped it. They turned it around. So it's basically like a 2-car garage, but that's super long. So it's about, let me see, it's typical 1-car. It's like 20 feet by 14 feet wide, and then if you go to the upstairs, it's similar. It's a little bit less probably, but yeah. So it's basically a 2-story, 1.5 car garage. It's the best way to describe it. I'm talking about hydrogen peroxide, not Plecos, but using it to purify tanks. Yeah, I've never messed around with the hydrogen peroxide stuff. I usually just clean it, work on filtration, stuff like that. I don't like using a lot of chemicals. There's some I will use. The saltwater, I may use some chemicals occasionally. Like with all that cyanoalgae you've seen, there's a product called ChemiClean that you can get various places, but that's the what I would use. So you guys have any more questions? Any other fish you guys want to see? We will do another tour, probably. You know, I don't want to do one every week, obviously, because it get boring for people. We'll do a different topic next week. I do want to try to get some guests on too. There was a guy on from, I don't know if I saw him here tonight. Did I see David's question? Why do all of your sponge filters have a 90-degree elbow? All right, let me go grab a prop real quick and I'll show it to you. All right, I'm back. So one of the things they do is where I buy my sponge filters from is a place called SwissTropicals.com. So if you check that out, he's the guy that sells. If you see the square sponge filters, that's where he gets them. And these are called jet lifters. And so basically, I don't even say it's 1.5 inches. I almost would say it's like or 1/2 inch, maybe it's 1/2 inch, but it has this little, I don't know if you can see inside of it, but that's the jet lifter. So your air hose goes here, and then it comes out of the front. So that's why these have this. So I actually keep extra sponge filters, and I usually keep them cycled in the goldfish pond. So when I want to set up another tank, I just take one out. It's already cycled in there and set it up. But that's why these have this, and I believe this actually increases the flow a little bit too. I believe if you put an elbow on your, like, just run-of-the-mill, sponge filters from PetSmart, I believe that does increase the flow some, if I remember correctly. That was a good question. ChemiClean. Yeah, so I think... Cool, David's cool, thanks. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here in a couple minutes. That'll be 10:20. So we've gone for 1 hour and 20 minutes. So yeah, so if you guys have any last questions, we can go ahead and take those. Yes, Candice, thanks for the stream. You're welcome. It's been this was a lot of fun. Kind of just walking through here. I need to get a glass of water. I'm kind of running out of spit, if you could say. New York Gold, good job on the stream. Mod Candy, bring water. Yeah, I do need to bring a water next time, for sure. I was looking for my the next stream. I usually stream Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. Yep, thank you for showing everything. Yeah, thank you for coming, Priscilla. Next stream is going to be 9 p.m. on next Tuesday. So I do have to do some thinking around the holiday because Tuesday nights, Christmas and New Year's are both on Tuesday nights. So I'll have to take a look. Dirty Tanks, thanks for all. That's all for me tonight. I had a long day at work, wiped out. Thank you for your comments. Very much appreciate it. Good night, New York Gold. Yep, Candy's going to have them scheduled. Yeah, I'll have to come up with a topic for next week. So if you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments below after this uploads, and we'll figure out a topic for next week. Good night, Carbon Really. So yeah, it is 10:20, so I am going to stop it, and I'm actually running out of battery on the phone. So we'll see you guys on the next one, and I appreciate you guys watching. We will see you next week, and the next video will be out on Thursday. Yeah, we are going to end